Sometimes you just need to start over because we accumulate so many ideas about our lives, what we should do, where we are right now, and we lose that childlike innocence that is available to us in any moment by just having the intention to be more innocent, to be more pure, to be more empty, to be more transparent. And through that emptiness, through that transparency, through that purity, you can again make great leaps in your reality. You can again take powerful steps. But if we accumulate so many ideas about where we are, what we need to do, and we insist on it, it just becomes heavy and we cannot see the trees through the forest. We need again to tune in fresh into what is aligned right now. What is my greatest access point to my spirit? What is the truest? And be curious, be childlike, have as a priority learning, openness. Actually start with, I don't know. I have no fucking clue. Which most likely is more true than what you're currently believing about your life. Unless you feel very convinced and pure and true and transparent about something. But otherwise you're most probably assuming something that isn't true. And you can gauge this by the emotional guiding system. And the emotional guiding system is basically the more pure, true, happy, joyful, abundant, loving you feel, the truer your perspective is. So just investigate, scan your being right now. Is there any of that flavor? Is that any of that flavor of transparency, of love, of conviction, of truth, of generosity present in your being? And if it is, then know that whatever you're assuming there or believing in there, it's true. Or at least it's like closer to truth than all of the states that do not really, that feel like you're stuck in mud. And this is where we want to bring the innocence and the lightness to. Like, what am I believing in that is making me feel so bad in a sense? And this might be more perspectives than you're currently realizing. Because if you look at your life, are you overall feeling abundant, expansive, joyful, happy, innocent? If not, then that's totally fine, but you're assuming something. You're coming from a place that isn't really true. So that's why this invitation today in the video is to reset, to just forget about everything you think you know, just for a moment. To just empty out your mind, throw out the garbage, it's good riddance anyway, and you just come back freshly, you tune into what is true right now, right here in this moment, not in the future, not in the past. What is true right now? And see if you can answer that for yourself. Truth will set you free. And we can bring it down a little bit to make it more easy to access, but you want to be aware of what is really, really, really true. And is it not true that you are? And it's so easy to overlook this simple fact of being, of existing. Instead, focus on all the objects, all the moving images, all the flashing lights. It takes sort of like a little bit of turning inwards, turning your attention 180 degrees back onto itself so that you can actually recognize that naked lucidity. And can you honestly say to yourself, not just because I'm saying it, but that is true? That is a fact, that is the case. And now how does that innocence feel? How does you existing, you areing, how is it? Does it feel spacious? Does it feel free? Does it feel loving? Does it feel any of these qualities? And can you see that it's also not limited by any of these qualities? It's even free from all the descriptions, but we're sort of evoking, making you more aware, more conscious of that state. And the more that you recognize this as true, because this is always true. Wherever you go, there you are. You always are. So it's always like a safe space that you carry with you. That even if you would be feeling really bad, right, in really low state, or really triggered, or really not sure, that being, that awareness is still there. And that awareness, how it feels, is still free, is still abundant, is still untouched by any of these appearances. Can you now see how relevant it is to recognize the I am, the me, the most inner sense of I am, without any additions, without adding I'm a person, or I'm a thought, or this or that. No, just you are, you undeniably are, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's inescapable enlightenment. You're stuck with enlightenment. Now, you might be asleep to it, you might not be really aware of it, like living from that lucidity and awareness all the time. But you can practice becoming more aware of this, becoming more true. And so now that we know what is actually like true with a capital T, we can also zoom in terms of resonance. What within this vibrational play is true? What resonates? What feels good? Basically, that's the question. Like, what truly feels good? What is your highest excitement, as some teachers call it, or your highest access point? Your truest access point right now. Like, what is the truest right now? And for that, you have to drop all of your ideas and tune in fresh, like a child, innocent. What feels good? And maybe it is to rest. Maybe it is to breathe. Maybe it is to go and get an ice cream. It could be literally anything. And that is why I would love for you to awaken the curiosity in you and tune in fresh every time. Even if a few seconds ago you tuned in and you are like, oh, I'm gonna go play tennis. But after that inspiration come up, like, no, I'm too tired and I have to grab my stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then maybe you tune in again, and maybe it's still the excitement, you just have a lot of lack beliefs about it. Or maybe it's like, oh no, maybe go swimming. And then you're like, okay, let me go swimming. It is like non-linear in essence. And this is why it's so difficult for the mind, because it cannot really pin it down. It is free, it is innocent. And the mind wants things linear, and I want to be able to understand it. But wouldn't you rather just play your heart out, have fun, go left, right, up, down, seeming in all these different directions, but from a higher perspective, from a higher self perspective, it's the straightest, truest line to everything you ever want. So, reset. In a sense, fuck everything that you have done until now, and just come back to what is true in the moment. The absolute recognition of your own awareness, of your own I am. Realizing what is always true, but then also realizing what feels exciting in the moment. What sets your heart on fire? What is like that inner tune, that inner frequency that you want to play? Hone in on that. Be precise with playing that, and not allowing anything else to pollute your experience. Let it only be truth. Let it only be I am. Let it only be your X. That which feels the truest, the most aligned, the most authentic right now. And let that guide your way on. Stay true, my friend. Check the link for free one-on-ones with me. They're donation-based. If you don't have any money, that's fine. Just book a call. And we'll see. Just bring your childlike innocence, your purity.